National Chairman, Labour Party, Julius Abure, thank you for joining us. Good morning.
Thank you so much for having me on the morning show today. I appreciate you for giving me this privilege and this opportunity to be here to do very few remarks and few responses to some of the allegations made by the National Treasurer, the estranged Treasurer of our party.
Okay, thank you also for joining us. Well, as they say, the thing speaks for itself. You know what the allegations are. Before now, spokesperson of the party, Abure, I tried to speak on your behalf. One of the things that Oluchi Opara said when she was on this show is that no, Abure or any other person cannot speak for you. That what she's demanding is accountability, that you should speak for yourself. And now you are here, and we hope that you will address all the issues she has raised, including the allegation that you used party funds, money paid for forms, money collected during by-election to buy houses for yourself in Nigeria and also overseas. So you may speak. We listen.
Well, first and foremost, I need to make it abundantly clear that I'm the first national chairman of the party to be able to, that I've been able to make and ensure that we have financial records in the office. Before my assumption of office as national chairman of the party, which was in 2021, there was no financial records in the office. Oluchi Opara has been the national treasurer of the party from 2014 to date. I will challenge her to bring all her records from 2014 that she became national treasurer to 2020-2021 before I assumed office as the national chairman of the party. Today, as we speak, there's an accountant in the office. All the books of accounts are opened, the cash book, all the vouchers, receipt of payment, all available in the office, including all the bank statements are all available in the office. I must make it clear that I have never at any point in time stopped or prevented Oluchi Opara from carrying out her duties as national treasurer of the party. What is her duties? If you look at our party constitution, article page 28 is very clear that the responsibility of the national treasurer of the party is number one, to receive monies and then pay same immediately to the party accounts. Today is no longer in vogue for monies to be paid to the treasurer who will pay into the account. People do direct transfers, and all these resources, all this money enter the party account directly. The second role of the national treasurer is to compile financial reports and then present to the House. The third function of national treasurer is to co-sign checks with me, and I have the right to sign checks with either the national secretary or the national treasurer of the party. I need to make it very clear that at no point have I stopped the national treasurer from performing her duties. I have some few checks here, photocopies of checks that I signed with the national treasurer in recent times. They are all here and they are very visible. I decided to make a few samples of it. This is the signature of Oluchi Opara signing checks with me last year. Some of these checks were in June, some were in July, signed by me and Opara as the national treasurer of the party. Some were signed in August, some in December. All these are available, and I'm sure that as soon as I leave this studio, I will use your platform to display so that you can have it. I have never at any point in time prevented her from doing or performing her duties. In June, when it was time for us to compile our records, abundantly we wrote to all the banks of all our banks, Fidelity Bank, Zenith Bank, named them, and we directed the bank that she should be obliged with all the statements of accounts to enable her compile whatever records she wanted to compile. I must state here clearly that those records are available in the office. But when it became apparent that she needed those records, we immediately obliged the bank. We immediately wrote to the bank, and these are all the letters we wrote to the bank to send all the bank statements to her so that she can go ahead to compile all her records. At no time have we stopped Oluchi from performing her functions as the national treasurer of the party. I must also put on record here that it is not true that she said the party have collected over 3.5 billion. I need to make it abundantly clear that we already have audited reports made by a certified auditor of the party. The party has an external auditor who has reviewed all the records, and we have all the audited statements of accounts from 2022 to 2023.
Okay.
All these records are available. The audited statement of accounts is here. I have them here. The total money in summary that entered the party between 2022 and now is 1,300,000,000. Nothing more, nothing less. We also got 700 million, which were the campaign funds that went straight to the campaign organization for the campaigns. I didn't know, and I cannot reconcile where she got the 3.5 billion that she talked about. I want to challenge her that she should make the records available where she arrived at the sum of 3.5 billion as money generated during the election.
Mr. Abure, let me come in here. Okay, so thank you very much for coming to respond to some of the very weighty allegations made by Madam Oluchi Opara, Treasurer, until yesterday when the party suspended her for 6 months. Perhaps that's why you refer to her as estranged. I have some questions around. I'm sure you watched the interview yesterday. But the first thing I wanted to say was, yes, after yesterday's meeting, the National Working Committee said that what was in your account was 2.1 billion, as opposed to the 2 billion you just mentioned, because you said 1.3 billion, then 700,000 naira for campaign funds. That's making 2 billion. But what was said yesterday was 2.1 billion. So maybe to check that in terms of aligning with what the statement that was made yesterday. Sorry, let me just ask my questions. Yeah, because what was said was different. It was 2.1 billion. You just said 2 billion. Now, in terms of what she mentioned, number one, on her suspension, she says that she missed the flight that was meant to face the disciplinary committee. Why was that hasty decision made, despite the fact that she made an allegation? What would be assumed to naturally progress from that would be an investigation to either verify her claims or to debunk her claims. But what happened yesterday was a swift response by the National Working Committee and the Disciplinary Committee to suspend her for 6 months. Is there going to be an investigation instituted? Because when an allegation is made and she says she has evidence and proof, I don't know if an investigation has been done and you've been found, not culpable. But let me also interrogate what you said with regards to the signatories to the account. She made mention of the fact that the former chairman, Alhaji Abdul Salam, passed away in 2020, 29th of December to be precise. 14 million naira was paid into the party account February 18, 2021. She said that most of the 14 million withdrawn from the same account between 28th of February to 7th of March 2021, and she didn't co-sign. At the time, there were only 3 signatories to the account: yourself, the late chairman, and herself. Who signed those checks? How did those sums of amount leave the account if one signatory had passed, she wasn't aware of it, and you were the other signatory to the account? So just to respond to those things, please, because it's just so her suspension without investigating the matter, is that the process of the Labour Party? And of course, the issue of the amount of money that was withdrawn in that period.
Well, I'll start with the very last question. The late chairman, Abdul Salam, passed on the 29th of December 2020. And on the 31st of December, we had a new acting national chairman who took over, Maria Lebeke. And we effected all the changes in the account. Change of signatories were effected. And that was why we were able to run the party from January 2021 to March 2021, when we had the NEC meeting in Benin, where I emerged as the national chairman of the party. All those money withdrawn between January 2021 and March were all withdrawn, and we co-signed with the acting chairman of the party, Maria Lebeke. I was the national secretary of the party at the time, and there was no way I could have withdrawn money from the account, or any person could have withdrawn money from the account without the A signatory. We were able to withdraw because we effected all the changes in the signatory. We brought in the new acting national chairman, Maria Lebeke, who co-signed all the checks with us. She equally, Oluchi Opara, was one of those who also signed some of those checks.